there! Today, we're going to explore some possible ways to make the world a slightly better place. Welcome back to the Team Recruiting, where we share insightful and thought-provoking content that can help you shape your recruiting career. Let's check out our first piece of content for today. So this first article is not just important for recruiters, it's important for pretty much everyone. I read Getting Serious About Diversity Enough Already with the Business Case. So about 25 years ago, Robin Ely and David Thomas promoted a learning and effectiveness paradigm. They were stating that cultivating a learning orientation toward diversity can help companies improve their effectiveness. Now, everyone keeps on talking about the business case for diversity, but its premises are flawed. First of all, the add diversity and stir approach doesn't work. In fact, having an increased number of underrepresented employees doesn't automatically translate into benefits. So, first of all, when a diversity initiative promises a financial gain and then fails to deliver, people can start withdrawing their support to initiatives like these. Not just that, but making the economic case can actually make people feel like equity is not that important to your business after all. And then it sends a really displeasing message to traditionally underrepresented employees that you just need them in the mix so that your business is more profitable. So it's not just about diversity, it's about how you harness it. This can be the best time for you to have a shift in mindset, let go of that idea that maximizing shareholder returns is paramount, and understand that success is measured differently. Success comes from learning, from innovation, creativity, flexibility, human dignity, and equity. So the message of the day is it's time to alter the status quo. Now, it's time for you to shift to this learning and effectiveness paradigm, but how do you do that, you ask? And there are 4 steps. Step number 1 is to build trust. Your employees should feel like they can bring their whole selves to work. Step number 2 is to actively work against discrimination and subordination. Now, business leaders have more power, but every one of us can make an impact with their actions. And educating yourself is the beginning, but that's not the end of this process. It's really important for you to spot issues within your organization, to address them, to spur learning and systemic change, and also to monitor the situation and, improve it. The third advice is to embrace a wide variety of styles and voices. Don't rely on stereotypes. The fourth tip is to make cultural differences a resource for learning. Identity groups shape our experiences as employees inside and outside of the office, and ignoring it is just silly. Encourage open conversations about these themes and try and draw learnings from them. And remember that investing in diversity and inclusion gives our lives meaning. Now, on to the second piece of content of today. We have talked about how important diversity and inclusion are in every workplace, but it all starts with the people you hire. So how can you hire better for diversity? We watched an episode of the Open Source Show, and Erica Joy Baker shares some really relevant tips. Number 1, it all starts with wording. Make sure that your vacancy uses a language that is welcoming and comprehensive. And to do that, you can use a website called text.io. You can run your job vacancy copy through that website and understand if your language is, for instance, more masculine or if it is more feminine. Because let's be real, if you write your vacancy like a gym bro, don't expect a lot of female candidates to apply. #ninja. Step number 2 is to be as extensive as you possibly can when you're talking about the role, the company, the benefits. Make sure that there are no surprises for the candidates and that they understand themselves whether they're a good fit for your company. Step number 3 is when you're reaching out to a candidate that you're inviting to an interview, make sure that you share all relevant information with them about your hiring process. How many steps are there? What do you expect from them for the interview? How many people are going to lead this interview, and so on and so forth. And this is particularly helpful for those candidates that suffer from test anxiety. And I know I'm one of them. I get super nervous, and it really does help to have a clear overview of the hiring process. Step 4 might sound like a no-brainer, but it's so important. See, bias is unavoidable. That's just how humans are wired. What you can do is keep your eyes peeled and try and spot it so that you don't let your bias make your decisions for you. So during an interview, make sure to pay particular attention to bias relating appearance or language, for instance. Don't judge a book by its cover. Step number 5 is quite interesting. See, usually you have your whiteboard test, and Erica Joy Baker recommends for you to assign your candidates a take-it-home test without a deadline. This way, you acknowledge the fact that we all have different backgrounds, we all have different situations at home, and we all have a different work style. And when your candidate brings in their work, you can have them explain their reasoning to you. So this way, you're not only going to be aware of their skills, but also of their problem-solving techniques. On to the Candy Crush. Candy Crush! As you should know by now, the more barbaric your treatment of candidates, the more demonic the reviews on your Glassdoor page. Let's look at the nasty review of the day. Shout out to a company we won't name. You made this candidate feel like a number in a big pile. I'm especially impressed by the fact that you shared with your candidate that your CEO is admittedly a little bit of a jerk. You really know how to impress people, don't you? Let's read this passage.
Every bit of communication you receive from blah blah seems automated, without a human touch. At one point, after performing the test and receiving a pass, I wondered if there was a human recruiter at all. I did not enjoy the Skype talk. The recruiter was grumpy and moody, and there was no smile to detect in their whole demeanor, as if they couldn't be bothered to be there at all. Most remarkable is that they stated that the CEO themselves can be quite harsh, which is quite remarkable to hear during an interview. I did appreciate their candidness about that, however. Altogether, I did not enjoy the whole process, very impersonal, really like you are just a number in a big pile.
Got something to say about this? Please drop a comment in the section below. I would love to pick your brains. We can only get better at helping you get better with your help. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. And remember that if you want this episode 48 hours before anyone else, all you need to do is subscribe to our newsletter. You'll find it linked below or at start.com/newsletter. Thank you for watching and see you the next time. And if you're wondering why I own soap bubbles, the question goes to you. Why
don't you own soap bubbles?